संस्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता ह्य सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। परतत्त्वे सदा लीनो रामकृष्णः समाज्ञया यो धर्मस्थापनरतो वीरेशं तं नमाम्यहम्। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं, यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तम्ह देवम् आत्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। ओम। Namaskars to Sri Sridharanji, namaskars to Nrityaji and all others of this very unique, wonderful KYM, and all the students who have become yoga practitioners and yoga teachers today. It's indeed a memorable occasion for me. Thanks to Nritya ji for her faith and love and affection for inviting me all the way from Hyderabad. And the moment I saw the history and other things about KYM and Krishnamacharya and others, my body became straight and prana became still. That is the effect of these great masters who have protected our culture, protected our dharma, and the legacy that the modern generation is taking since the last 35-40 years forward as far as yoga is concerned. So just a quick story. Madras has always been a heartland and the stronghold of traditions in the south, and this is where the city Vivekananda was recognized as Vivekananda. Even his own people in Kolkata did not know him. It was for Alasinga Perumal, for Nanjunda Rao, Sundaram Iyer, of those legacies, who recognized the divinity of this monk of 28 years, 29 years, and guided him through till he reached Chicago. And one story makes me emotional. How Alasinga Perumal's wife, Mrs. Rangamma, played a very pivotal role in protecting Sanatana Dharma. This man himself is very poor, a school teacher, having 13 people to take care at his home. And he goes house to house, street to street in Mylapore, in Raipeta, in T Nagar and Triplicane to get a few paisa. At the time all paisa, naya paisas, British time. So that Vivekananda will get a fare ticket to go to America. And with great difficulty, some gave, some insulted, some did not give after promising. But somehow he managed to get about 400 to 500 rupees at that time by begging. Only to get a nice scolding from Vivekananda. Who asked you to do all this? Shocked. He did it out of love. But Swamiji was not ready to go to America because he did not get his Guru's Adesha, he did not get Holy Mother Sharda Devi's permission, because next in command, she is the mother, Saraswati. Unless mother agrees, I will not cross this ocean. And what should that money be done? Immediately Vivekananda says, take the money, go to Marina Beach and distribute it to the fishermen. I can't see them suffering. The whole thing was distributed in seconds. What took years for him to collect. And then the story goes forward. Swamiji goes there, and what is the tragedy? The Chicago, the Parliament of Religions is postponed till September. Cold is setting in, hardly 2 or 3 sets of dress, 170 notes, currency at the time, 117 drafts of system like thing, about $10 or $20 in cash. How can he live? He's starving, no friends, no Indian embassy, British Raj, and he goes from India, a brown man. He is put in the same category as the Negroes, as the niggers at that time, racism. And he writes a very painful, pitiable letter from America to Madras. To Alasinga Perumal again. Send me some money, I am starving here. I will die in this cold. And you people sent me to America without knowing when the date is, when the protocol is, what should I do here? Alasinga Perumal is confused, tears in his eyes. What to do? Where will I go for money? And he is getting only 25-30 rupees at that time salary, feeding 13 people at home. And seeing his tearful face and mood, Rangamma comes to the picture. She is unhappy seeing her husband in that condition. What is the problem? She says, this is the letter. Swamiji is starving. He will die. No friends, no house, no coffee, no breakfast, no bath. What does she do? She takes all her jewels, sells it in the market and says, give this to your guru. That is how Alasinga Perumal is able to send some money to Vivekananda and save him for the next 2-3 months. This is Rangamma's silent seva to her husband's guru. And she saved Vivekananda from starving and death. And her great-grandchildren are there in triplicane protecting the stick, walking stick which Vivekananda had in their house as if it is God for them. So that is how Madras has got wonderful reminiscences, wonderful stories in the life of Swamiji. And when we speak about yoga, etc., Swami Ramakrishnananda comes to our picture. Those who have not read his life, please buy a copy of it and you'll understand what are the difficulties of that period. The one man for 14 years practicing yoga, practicing meditation and traveling left, right, center, the whole city and all the 4 southern states. Establishes Vedanta, establishes Sanatana Dharma, establishes Ramakrishna's message and passes away in 1911. So Madras has got that wonderful legacy of spiritual giants coming here, the land of the Alvars, land of the Nayanmars, and it's a joy to speak here, joy to come here. And Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission, they are twins and twin organizations. But this year, like from 2022, we are celebrating the 125 years of a monastic organization after Bhagavan Buddha. Bhagavan Buddha opened his doors for everybody, for monasticism, for moksha, for nirvana. Shankaracharya restricted it. Then Vivekananda came, modern Shankara says, no, if India has to evolve, everybody has got the divinity, spark of divinity within, and he starts a monastic organization on May 1st, 1897. So till December, whole country is celebrating, Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Gujarat to Northeast. That's why every center is busy, whether it is Tanjavur, whether it's Mylapore, whether it is Hyderabad, whether it is Srinagar, whether it is Ramanathapuram. Every center is celebrating. It's a great offering to the society, what all is happening and how we can take the nation forward in spiritual values, evolution for the next 25 years, immediate target. So, Madras again comes to me when I was speaking with Sridharanji, the Institute of Human Excellence in Hyderabad. I invite all of you to come and see the place, one of the best training centers for character, values from a 5th standard boy to a PG student. And the origin of that, I was telling sir, is Madras again. Chennai today, Madras at the time. Swamiji came back from America. He got a royal welcome where nobody has seen a sannyasi being welcomed in that fervor and that joy. It became Navaratri. February, we celebrate Navaratri in Chennai, Vivekananda Illam on the beach. On February 10th or 11th, 1897, Swamiji was coming down to go to Victoria Memorial, a Triplicane Society, for his speech. And few young people from Madras University, they came and said they had read in the papers his glory, his divinity, his expression, his Vedanta, his yoga. Where? Not just America, the entire Europe, Switzerland, Germany, everywhere he traveled at the time. And most interesting thing all of you would appreciate, he travels all the way to London, capital of the British, capital of the England. And what are we here? Slaves under them. It is called the British Raj, colony of Queen Victoria. Divide and rule policy, Madras presidency, Calcutta presidency, they were making all these. And this man goes and teaches Bhakti Yoga in London. He teaches Narada Bhakti Sutras and Swamiji's Raja Yoga, he himself translated day after day in London. The first authentic books which came out at that time, his own translations. In London, he becomes their guru. They are sitting, the English people like this. Rooms were packed with seekers and listeners admiring his personality. And here, our ancestors, our forefathers were polishing the shoes of the British. What a tragedy, nobody could stop him. And he comes like a Shiva Tandava, walking from Colombo in Sri Lanka to Almora in the south, Madras giving the best of that 9 days. And that day, these young people come, show him the newspaper cuttings. We are suffering here and you become their guru? How nice, wonderful this is. Why don't you get us freedom? Very good question. Madras University students. Why don't you get us freedom? Straight comes an optimistic and faithful answer. Yes, I can get you freedom tomorrow. But where are the men to preserve that freedom? Show me and I will get it. These young boys bend their head in fear, in a shyness. Where are men? Are you men? Do you have strength? First physical strength, the mental strength, the moral strength, the spiritual strength, and then faith in your scriptures, faith in your traditions. Do you think Queen Victoria is a fool to give you freedom? She is controlling the huge country. They could not answer. And Swamiji corrected them. See, I am asking you a question. You can't say we are here to serve the motherland and get her freedom, sacrifice our life. You want me to get freedom, but you cannot preserve that freedom. But when he appreciated their sickness, but not their personality. So weak, so low in faith, in Shraddha. But he said, prophecy in Madras, I am seeing something I am not saying. What am I seeing? Mother India shall be free in the next 50 years. She is awakening from her sleep. It all started in Ramnad lecture, inspiring talk. And he comes to Madras and sees Mother India is awaking from her deep, long sleep. But we have to pay heavy price for that freedom. That freedom shall come under some unforeseen circumstances. Freedom came. Unforeseen circumstances, I am not going to history. All of you know it. But that question remained, where are men? We have to train men and women of health, character, yoga, discipline, traditions. So it had to wait for September 2000 AD to start a full-fledged training center, Institute of Human Excellence. All branches of knowledge people come. Computer scientists come, chartered accountants come, lawyers come, doctors come, tailors come. Common denominator is human excellence. Shrestha Purushaha. We don't want good people in India. All are good. But are you excellent? Are you strong? I ask every man, every woman who undergoing training, are you strong? Truth alone can give you the strength. And Swamiji goes into ecstasy in the lecture on Sages of India in Madras. Sages of India lecture, drawing from the Vedic times till Sri Ramakrishna. He explores the entire, for 2.5 hours, he gives a bombarding talk on how this Vedanta, how the rishis, how the meditation, how the yogas have helped the country to stand against assault. So we have that training institute in Hyderabad, Ramakrishna. We have trained about 20 lakh people from last 23 years, going on and on. Response is something unique. Just a phone call, 2,000 people will come. The desire, the thirst for knowledge, the thirst for becoming better. That's all going on there, and through that spread the message in nook and corner of the state and the country. So in that connection, we have so many other institutes coming up in the country as far as the celebration is concerned. Sridharanji just pointed out a very, very subtle point. All of you should remember. Do not give up personal practice. We become complacent in the process. We become frog in the well. And we think whatever we are doing is okay. Your own growth is important. Your own evolution is important. End of the day, that is the goal. So that is where your adhyatmika vikas, sharirika vikas, okay. From a tiny baby till an adult and an old man, till we die, body is growing, age, year after year. Manasika vikas, mental expansion, okay. From LKG to PG. And special education, doctor, teacher, lawyer, tailor, whatever. But what about the inner growth? That is where yoga is very, very important. And irrespective of your background and religion, talk, whatever, each one of us, you, me and all, have to attain value fulfillment. The very fact you are born as a human being, Shankaracharya, Viveka Chudamani, third sloka, Durlabham Trayamaivaita, Daivanugraha Hetukam. By the grace of God, the grace of the divine, Durlabham, very rare, Manushyatvam. To millions and millions of evolution on this planet, we have come as a multicellular being with a powerful weapon called the brain, the buddhi, the intellect. We don't work by instinct. We work by intuition, by intelligence, by analysis. But the animality is also there inside. Animality, Pashutvam. Then the Manush evolves by education. Then yoga will enter inside and make you divine, Daivatvam. So the value fulfillment, the very fact you are born as a human being, gives you a unique value and dignity. Swami Vivekananda in Chicago, September 19th, 1893, read that paper that is submitted for 2.5, 3 hours before the Western audience. It's not just September 11th that people adore and forget later. That was an introduction for him to blast on the world scene. It was like a tsunami waiting to come out of its enclosure. They wanted to know more about what this Hinduism is, what Vedanta is, what yoga is, what this worship of the deities is, image worship and Sakara, Nirakara, confused. Swamiji prepared. And in that beautiful, very scientific talk, it is as good as re-education for the Hindus and a new presentation of all the... He cleared all the cobwebs. I request all of you to go and read that paper on Hinduism. And there, after explaining the evolution of the Vedas and the Vedanta into modern times, he says, I close my eyes and address myself I 10 times. Who am I? What is the idea of I before me? Nan-yar, Ramana Maharshi's question. People came with a big list of questions. He said, sit in the corner, think Nan-yar. You will get the answer. Swami says, I, who am I? Am I a combination of just material substances? Tiny body-mind complex, man, woman, east, west, that's all? One wave, stand on the Marina beach, you will not be there next second. You will be knocked off. You will be sucked inside the waters. Is man a tiny boat in a tempest? See the analysis. Drawn into the yawning chasm one moment, thrown over the high billows the other moment, a wrecking nature. Is that all? If that is so, why all this? Desperation, why all this? He says, no. The Vedas refuse to accept the tiny body-mind complex. You are a spirit living in the body. Then he mentions about the Atman, how the ancient sages challenged the entire nature, conquered external nature, and found out a deep value inside, which we call the Atman, the self. Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Ananda, Swarupaha, that is you. You are not a body mind, just material substances, flesh and blood. So many wonderful examples of the great sages and the great warriors and the kings who stood on the test of time. Swamiji explains all that in that. Now see the value of a human being. You are not a man, woman, but you are a spirit living in the body. That is the greatest value that you have. For that, Patanjali Maharshi comes inside. He says self-discipline, self-control, self-knowledge, inward concentration. Vivekananda uses a beautiful word in Madras lecture. The time has come for re-education of the educated. We have become mustached babies. We have forgotten. In Madras he proclaims, you are not Hindus, go back to the Upanishads. What audacity, what command he has got to say, you are not Hindus, heartland of Shaivism, heartland of the Alvars. He says, no, go back to the Upanishads. In Switzerland he thundered, you are not Christians, go back to Christ. You have forgotten love, renunciation and the care of that mighty Lord. So that is the inward concentration. He referred to that, do not give up this. In the enthusiasm and in the, what we call the spirit of teaching, what are you doing for yourself? Your karma, your samskara, your moksha? Take that also into consideration. That is the mission statement of Ramakrishna order. We stand by that. Atmano mokshartam jagat hitaya cha. Cha is and liberation of oneself and service of the society. Sometimes we do so much service, we forget our moksha. We become more stressful, more tension, more worried. Dikshatriya balam brahma tejo balam balam. Kaushika says in the Ramayana. He learns a bitter lesson under Vasishta. Vasishta put his yoga danda and said, come on, we'll challenge. I will not fight. I will not use one missile. All the missiles of Kaushika were sucked in by the yoga danda of Vasishta. This fellow says, what am I doing? Using only gross matter? And Vasishta using only the spiritual matter? I am useless fellow now. I will also become a rishi. He goes and becomes Vishwamitra. Whole life transformed. So he got the value there. He understood he is going in the wrong direction. Only external. And you have got a special certificate I'll give you. Yours is Corona batch. 2020, March 20, shut your mouth, close your nose, be away from other human beings. 2 years of fear and uncertainty. Man, mother, if she sneezes, finished. Whole house will go on her hartal. If somebody coughs, finished. He will be cursed. And people were not there to offer flowers to their own parents. What a sad situation that we created. Our own self, we bit the finger which is feeding us. We did not live with nature, we went against nature and gave a nice beating. If you don't learn, again another attack will come from nature. So Vivekananda says here, we have to get the power to become moral. It's not just a good boy or a good girl that matters today. Deep inner morality. Like walking on a razor's edge. That is what yoga helps us. It gives us a mirror. It gives us a margadarshak, lighthouse of becoming a moral personality. Dharma adharma, karma akarma, satya satya, nitya nitya. Viveka buddhi will come. That is real morality. Until we do that, we cannot control our actions. Yoga alone enables us to carry into practice the teachings of morality. To become moral is the object of yoga. And again he says, this message, as it has been going on so many decades, 125 years ago he says, my ideal can be put into a few words. This is Swamiji's original quotation. My ideal indeed can be put into a few words, and that is to preach unto mankind their divinity and how to make it manifest in every moment of life. That is yoga. Every moment of life, you tasmat yogi bhava Arjuna. How many times Krishna has knocked us on the head? Tasmat yogi bhava Arjuna. Be a yogi, be a yogi, be a yogi, not a rogi. Roga will come because bhoga has entered our mind. Enjoyment, enjoyment, enjoyment. So yoga will enter inside. And don't ever think, don't ever tell your students that it was not just Arjuna there. Pandavaputra, Kaunteya, son of Kunti. No, that is history. But you are Arjuna. Sridharanji is Arjuna. Natyaji is Arjuna. The cameraman is Arjuna. The Prime Minister is Arjuna. Take that, because we are in the center of the battlefield of life. Tug of war is going on. So Krishna is whispering to you through the great acharyas. Tasmat yogi bha. Banker can be a yogi. A teacher can become a yogi. An IAS officer can become a yogi. Police commissioner can become a yogi. What prevents you that? That is what prevents you? Hypnotization, ignorance, maya. That prevents you from saying, I am not a yogi. I am only a bhogi. Bhoga enters, corruption will come. I don't care for values. I don't care for yoga. Complacency will enter. So this dehypnotization process is yoga. We are already hypnotized. Swamiji is speaking about Gnana Yoga in America. He is speaking about the real and the apparent man. He is speaking about Kathopanishad. The first Swami to go and speak all this at that narrow British Raj time. And when he is speaking about realization from Kathopanishad and the Chandogya Upanishad, there is a change in the mind of in the behavior of the audience. About 200, 250 Americans are sitting. Some are crying, some are in meditation, some are laughing, some are shocked. The whole atmosphere changed. This man, monk, is giving the best of his experience. And Swamiji understood they are not able to digest this. Expression is coming out more than the experience. They are enjoying, they are laughing according to their moods. He stopped. He stopped talking. He sat in meditation. After 20 minutes he got up and again was about to start Kathopanishad. One American gentleman, Swami, you are hypnotizing us. Bold question. You are hypnotizing us. Brilliant retort, brilliant answer. He says, I am not hypnotizing you, I am dehypnotizing you. You were already hypnotized before you came into the hall. Look at your face, so dull it was, so weak it was, and you thought you are superior, I am inferior, or this is that. You are a businessman, you are white, you are black. This is hypnotism. I am removing the veil of ignorance. You are not able to understand it, and he gives a few more stories and closes his talk. They remembered he has come for dehypnotization. Yoga removes the veil from your eyes, like cataract operation, like glaucoma operation, retina detachment. All these at the physical level, but in the mind there is a retina detachment. You have forgotten your real nature. Can you always think? You are the most busiest person in Chennai or Hyderabad or Delhi or America. In spite of that, can you hold on to that inner strength, inner stuff, and then with the right hand go and do your work? If you are not able to do, hypnotization. Something else is covering it up. So that is why each one of you, and all put together, and many more, should understand what exactly is life. What exactly is life? Raja of Alwar asked Swamiji, what is life? He says, life is unfoldment and development of a being under circumstances tending to press it down. Analyze this. Circumstances tending to press it down at the physical, mental, moral and spiritual level. Nature tests you left, right, center. An ant is going on the table, it is a being. An elephant is a being. A lizard is a being. A human baby is a being. That's why we call human being. From Janma till Marana, you are growing. Prana Shakti flows. The Prana Shakti ends, you call it dead body. You don't call it by the name also. If somebody dies, you say, when that body will come, you will ask. You will not ask when Prakash will come, when Ramesh will come. Go on. That Namakarana also goes along with the prana. When the body will come, you ask. That's what Shankara went on knocking on our head in Mohamudgara, Bhajagovindam, hey fool! Sometimes he calls brother out of love. What are you doing? Why this hypnotism? What have you understood of life? Dinayaminyam sayam prata, shishiravasantav punarayat. The nature is playing with you. Kala kridati, gacchati ayuhu. Even then you hold on again back to that asha, have hope, hope, hope. Desire, desire, desire. This hypnotism yoga removes. So unfoldment and development of a being under circumstances tending to press it down. Then what happens? You are not a tiny body-mind complex, you are connected with the cosmos. Macrocosm, microcosm. Brahmanda, Pindanda. What is happening in this 5 feet, 6 feet body, in the nerves, in the cells, in the blood, in the all things is happening there. You have to get connected. The moment you get disconnected, diseases, cancer, depressions, oppression, suicides, addictions. That is why when we go to the beach, do not look at the waves, but look at the ocean. You look at the waves, enjoy and come back after eating some pani puri and ice cream. But what about the ocean? Look, you are part of it. That gives you bigness. Expansion is life, contraction is death. Look at the waves. Yes, you are also part of the wave, 4 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet. But then the waves are part of the ocean. And they give you the ocean gives you the right royal signal, come unto me, come unto me, come unto me. But you are busy somewhere else. So by constantly absorbing free energy from the environment, living beings continue to live, and as soon as the supply is stopped, we proceed to the state of disorganization and degeneration called death, mrityave swaha. We all have to merge into the kala. This connection. So this deeper understanding, you have got time now to understand because you have gone through the technicalities. You have gone through the process. Now it is time to do mananam and nididhyasanam. 500 hours, 2 full years. Imagine the intensity of purpose that you underwent out of thousands and thousands of people. So to cut this story short, I am not going to the details, I will just bypass a few points. And since he mentioned the personal practice, which is the spiritual practice, physical, yes, asanas are there, mudras are there, pranayama is there, therapies are there. Mentally also concentration is there, pratyahara, dharana, everything is there. But what is it to me to evolve as a yogi? Karma everybody does. What is the meaning of karma? We misunderstood for many years and centuries. Karma means fate. Very sad. Swamiji says, everybody says karma, my karma, your karma. Where did Krishna say fate? He says action, kru dhatu, to perform. That is karma. I am talking karma. You are listening, your karma. I have come from Hyderabad, my karma. Everything is happening because of karma. Camera is working karma, mic is working karma. Then am I a camera? Am I just a switch off and switch on product? No, there the buddhi enters. That is why the Pradhana Mantri took a very serious the campaign called Capacity Building Commission. Go and do Google search. Why he did it, and he says India has got karmacharis, but we want karma yogis in the central government. There is a particular syllabus of the 8 lectures of Vivekananda on karma yoga for IAS officers, for Indian Railways, for Delhi Police, for the Postal Department. Going on, it is going on now. Karma Yoga Vivekananda, 8 lectures, which he gave in New York and London, has been put into a beautiful syllabus, keeping the secularism, keeping all other things in view, but we want karma yogis in the bank. We don't want karmacharis. Because at the end of the day, you are serving your mother. It's not just your promotions and that you have to look at. Serve the mother. That is the idea. Mission Karma Yogi. So at the spiritual level, finally, what does yoga do to you? The aim of yoga is the establishment of Swarajya. What a beautiful word, Swarajya. I am the king of myself. What happened to Alexander when he encountered with that yogi on the banks of the Indus? Only a loincloth, stark naked on the soil he is sitting. Alakshendra comes with his powerful sword and army. Swamiji mentions this in the Real Nature of Man lecture in London. And he says, Alexander asks him 5 questions. Beautiful yogic answers he gives. On the ground he is sitting, yoga. The yogi, nameless. Alexander is so happy, so excited. Please come with me to Macedonia. Why should I come? I'll give you wealth. I'll give you richness. I'll give you chariots. I'll give you gold. I'll give you palace. Again, objective temptation. He says, I'm happy here. I don't want to come. 3 times Alexander asks. 3 times yogi refuses because he has got Atmabalam. Alexander is furious. He takes out his sword. And that sword has killed 75% of the kings in the world. And people call him Alexander the Great. For what? Killing people. 75% of the wealth is in his hands at the age of 32 years. And he is furious. He says, I will kill you if you don't come with me. The yogi says, you, Alexander, kill me? You can cut my body to pieces, but you cannot kill me. The real me is deathless. And he quotes the 2nd chapter of the Gita, Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha. All the soldiers and his commanders are said, he is finished now. And he is holding the sword with all anger. How can you say no to Alexander? But when he said, you can kill the body, not me, Alexander drops his sword. Swamiji says, without fighting, Alexander lost because of the power of the spirit over the sword. And he bows down to him. And there, a beautiful idea of Ayu, the Prana Shakti, which is all used in killing and murdering and attacking other kingdoms, says, what a mess of your life you made, Alexander. You will not go back home. At 32, on the way, he died. Because all the Ayu, all the Pranashakti, all his mental energy exhausted only in attacking others, killing others. He did not go home. That story, famous Alexander biography is there. And the famous quotation is there, as you take my body to the burial ground in the coffin, keep my hands open and let the people know that Alexander cannot take his sword also. Swamiji says, look at the power of India, power of the spirit, power of the Atman. The whole world was shivering with Alexander, but here is a yogi with a lion cloth who defeated him and says, your Ayu is over, you cannot enjoy what you did. So the spiritual level, what we should do. Sovereignty of the self. Sovereignty of the self. You are the king of yourself. You are the Maharaja. And Swami Vivekananda quotes a Sanskrit shloka, one line, a proverb. Nirgachanti jagadjala pinjaradiva kesari. This is my favorite mantra for students in colleges. Nirgachanti jagadjala. What is jagat? It's a jala, net, a powerful net throwing upon you through all the drama that is going on outside. You are caught in it. Without yoga, you are lost. And he says, Pinjaradiva Kesari. Like a lion which is caught in a cage. Will it be happy? Will it not make attempts to break the cage and roar and show its valor? Be like that. Don't be caught in the Jagat Jala. Be in the world. Do not allow the world to live in you. That is yoga. The boat should be on the water. Water should not be in the boat. Is it not? A little water enters the boat, it will sink. 5%. More water, 50% gone. But you should have that maturity. Sri Ramakrishna tells the story, famous story, which has been put into many films and dramatized also. A great Pandit who learned Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavata, scriptures, everything. He is sitting with all his pride and other passengers are sitting, and then what does he say? He is asking the boatman, hey, Ramayana padchiya? Pere ke liye? Mahabharata? No name at all. Other scriptures, he quotes all the Dasha Puranas. No. Hey, 25% of your life gone. If you have not read Mahabharata Ramayana, 50% of your life gone. If you have not other scriptures, 75% of your. He is going on boasting his bookish knowledge. Then there was clouds in the sky. There's a cyclonic wind. The boat is tossing up and down. The boatman asks, sir, do you know swimming? No, 100% of your life is gone. Sri Ramakrishna says, what you read, what is this, if you cannot solve your own problem? The boatman said, I will survive, you will die. The indigestion of that fellow, practical, he is more practical. He is a yogi, doing his karma yoga nicely. In that way he says, we should know how to rise ourselves by ourselves. Otherwise you are your own friend, you are your own enemy. 6th chapter Gita. So man's whole life, you are sitting here as is yoga. A part of the cosmic self-sustaining action is going on now. Vibhuti Yoga, 10th chapter. See the Lord. Train your mind to see the Lord. Don't see an auto driver. He is a Sarati for you. Do namaskaram to him. That is yoga. Bus driver is a yoga. He is a yogi. Do namaskaram to him. Krishna is manifesting through him. Vibhuti. Everywhere he says, Sarasamasmi Sagaraha. When you go to the ocean, beach, think it is the Lord himself in that form. So in that way, we practice this spiritual outlook. Last but not the least, Kumbakonam lecture. Swamiji's famous mission of Vedanta. First time he is addressing the peak of the Tamil Nadu audience. 7,000 people listening to him without a mic. There he roars, teach yourself, teach everyone. First is self-correction, teach yourself. Then hold the torchlight towards outside. Teach everyone what? His or her real nature. What is that real nature? Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Ananda Swarupaha. Why do we forget all this? And bring in the secularism, etc. in institutions and put a barrier again. Already we are hypnotized. Why don't you tell this great story to your children like Rani Madalasa? Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Ananda Swarupaha. Just a little fun. You see, some of you say Sridharanji. Did he come with a nameplate when he was born? Call me Sridharan? No. He came nameless. Just Anamika, the Atman was manifesting to the body. Then afterwards his mother, his father did the Namakaranam saying that Sridhar. And Sridhar did not get affiliated with the Nama. No. It was just a tiny baby, smiling, laughing, crying, praying. Later, Jagat Jala. You are Sridhar, you are Sridhar, you are Nritya, you are Ramesh, you are so and so. Kept on telling. But why? Madalasa said, Shuddhosi Buddhosi Muktosi Samsara Maya Parivarjitosi. To her own daughter, her own child, mother is singing the song of immortality. You are pure, you are eternal, you are free, my child. Look at that history in the making. That is how Vivekananda says, what my mother did for me, I cannot do it in 5 lifetimes. She gave her life for me. She prayed for me, sir, did tapas for me for 2 full years. I am blessed to be born to that mother who gave me this body, who is in Kolkata. And hundreds used to go to her house to see that mother of Vivekananda, the biological mother. So he says real nature has to be taught. Then what will happen? How to do it? Process, simple. Teach yourself, teach everyone his or her real nature. Call upon the sleeping soul and see how it awakes. Full concentration. That is where your pratyahara dharana comes in. Call upon the sleeping soul. Jagrata, Jagrata. Tasmat Jagrata, Jagrata. Be aware, be aware. Be awake, be awake. So yoga students, yoga teachers, yoga practitioners should always have that charged battery. When the circumstances will test you, you don't know. You have to be always like a lighthouse, you have to be. What will you get if you do this? 5 things. Swamiji mentions this. Power will come, glory will come, goodness will come, purity will come, and everything that is excellent will come. When will it come? When the sleeping soul is roused to self-conscious activity. This is yoga. Self-conscious activity. Karma yoga, bhakti yoga, raja yoga, gnana yoga, abhyasa yoga, ananya yoga, buddhi yoga, mano yoga. Whatever you do will become, will take you towards immortality. That is your goal. For that, these steps we are taking. Somebody becomes a monk, somebody becomes a big officer, because that he has taken that step towards moksha. So that eligibility we get, that ability we get, and clarity we will get when the slowly evolution takes place day after day. It is not a festival program. Day after day you are going forward, knowingly or unknowingly. But knowingly is better. We will enjoy the journey rather than being just a machine, a cog in the machine. And the divinity is manifesting. What is the divinity? 16th chapter, Bhagavad Gita. Daivi Sampat, spiritual wealth. When that magnifies in percentage, we get the blessings of Maharshi Patanjali. We're directly connected to the Mahayogi who gave us so much of knowledge of thousands and thousands of yogas as Adishesha. So we are all blessed to be born in this great nation, which He has given that legacy of Yoga Vedanta, Sankhya, Nyaya, Vaisheshika. Our Guru used to tell us, in Bhagavatam it is there, a discussion in heaven by all the gods. And they are what we call Ekavadam. Let us all be born as children of Mother India. This is a prayer of the gods. That's why we are all gods in that concept. But unfortunately, some people want to live here and go there. I want to go to heaven. Heaven people want to come here to get moksha. It is there in the Bhagavatam, an entire section. Let us be feeling that joy that we are children of Bharata Mata, and we are a little drops from the vast ocean called yoga. We have taken just a few drops. With that itself we are so fascinated. Imagine once we plunge into that higher yoga, how it will come. What joy will be there. Sri Ramakrishna was testing Vivekananda. I am talking too much. Vivekananda was not Vivekananda, Narendra. College student has come, young, bold, energetic, enthusiastic. He is coming every week for 5 years. Vivekananda himself brilliant, Narendra. But he has to sit at the feet of the man who did not go even beyond 3rd standard. For 5 years, 1881, 1886. Read that beautiful life called Guru Shishya Parampara of Vivekananda Ramakrishna. In that one story is there, I will end with that. Narendra has come from his house to meet his Guru, Sri Ramakrishna. All are sitting. Sri Ramakrishna asks, Naren, think that you are a fly. You are a fly. I keep a big jar of amritam, nectar, in front of you. How will you drink that? Narendra says in his innocence, I sit on the brim of the vessel. Little by little, I will drink and come out. That is my way. Why don't you plunge inside? Why little by little sitting on the outside? Then Narendra says, I may die, fear of death, I may get drowned. Then Sri Ramakrishna corrects him. What a small-minded fellow you are. I thought you will plunge inside and enjoy a good swim in that Mahasagara called Amritam. You want little? No, my child. Plunge inside. Whole thing is yours. You will become immortal. You will not die. Narendra learnt the bigness of yoga, bigness of plunging inside. May all of you plunge inside and become immortal. Thank you very much.